we shall have a peaceful procession into the Nairobi Central Business District and address our supporters and the people of Kenya at various stopovers.
Nataka kumuona Bwana Malala hapa si Kakamega, na yeye ajiadhari.
The political temperature in the country has once again shot up as President William Ruto moves to tighten his grip on power ahead of the much publicized return of his former deputy turned rival, Rigathi Gachagua. What was supposed to be a routine State House meeting quickly turned into a secretive strategy session, bringing together the country's top security chiefs, including the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the police bosses, and operatives from the National Intelligence Service.
The police are hereby notified to provide security, and they should not dare to demonstrate against the people of Kenya.
At the heart of the meeting was one main agenda: how to counter the grand reception that awaits Gachagua at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after his stay in the United States. Sources within government corridors reveal that Ruto is uneasy with the growing influence of the former deputy president, whose popularity appears to be on a sharp rise among ordinary Kenyans.
We are also adequately informed of the mischief and also plans by President William Ruto to have our party leader arrested upon his arrival at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. We are also informed that William Ruto is planning to divert his plane to either Kisumu or Mombasa International Airports to arrest him from there.
The state is said to be planning a series of measures aimed at disrupting the massive procession expected to accompany Gachagua from the airport to Nairobi. According to statements made by the Democratic Congress Party Secretary General Cleopas Malala, an elaborate plan is already in place to infiltrate the welcome procession with hired goons and militia. Their work would be to cause chaos and discredit the gathering, painting it as a violent and unlawful.
Unfortunately, last night, we have been informed that the Nairobi County Governor, in cohorts with the CS for Interior, Mr. Kipchumba Murkomen, held several meetings and have activated their state-sponsored goons to cause harm to innocent citizens. This is being done by one Chief of Staff, one David, in connection with the following members of Parliament: George ALADWA and the Dagoretti North MP, Mama Beatrice ELACHI.
Among the figures mentioned in connection with the plans are Cabinet Secretary in charge of Interior Kipchumba Murkomen, who has been drawn into the controversy despite his silence on the matter. Also dragged into the storm are Nairobi MPs George ALADWA and Beatrice ELACHI, both accused of helping to mobilize forces to weaken the strength of the procession.
Awachane na Nairobi. Na mimi nataka kumrudia nikisema watu wa media mko hapa. Aambiwe kabisa, kwanza nikimpata nitadili na yeye. Yeye sio mtu ati atakuja kunitisha maisha yangu hapa, utajataja jina yangu kama bibi yake. Mimi hapana bibi yake. Na mimi sio wale viongozi atichatisha hapa na hata niuzie uoga.
Malala's warning was blunt. Any attempt to disrupt the grand reception for Gachagua will be met with equal resistance from the former deputy's supporters. The DCP party insists that the government is determined to defend the rights of its members and the people to welcome their leader without intimidation or sabotage. This sets the stage for what could easily turn into a showdown at JKIA, with the possibility of clashes between state forces and Gachagua's loyalists.
We want to be very particular and candid on this matter. Take notice that any attempt to arrest Honorable His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, once he lands in the country, will be met by our supporters across the country.
Gachagua's return comes at a delicate moment in the political scene. His weeks abroad have only fueled speculation about his next move. His allies have worked tirelessly to build anticipation for his homecoming, promising Kenyans a show of strength that will shake the political establishment. Already, posters, banners and rallies have been planned to escort him from the airport into the city, a move designed to send a direct message to the president that Gachagua is no longer a man to be sidelined.
The duo have expressed instructions to the goons to loot, destroy property and harm people and then blame it on DCP and its members. Please, Mr. Murkomen and Mr. Sakaja, do not burn down our country.
For Ruto, the stakes are high. His leadership has been facing increasing criticism over the economy, high cost of living and the division within his own camp. Gachagua's rising star threatens to fracture the unity of the ruling coalition, with many MPs and grassroots leaders quietly shifting their loyalty. The president knows too well that allowing his former deputy to stage a successful show of might could weaken his image and embolden other dissenters in his government.
We shall have a peaceful procession into the Nairobi Central Business District and address our supporters and the people of Kenya at various stopovers. We have advised the National Police Service through.
This explains the involvement of the country's intelligence and security apparatus. By drafting in the police, DCI and NIS, Ruto is leaving nothing to chance. He is determined to control the narrative around Gachagua's arrival, ensuring that any attempt to paint it as a peaceful and popular reception is overshadowed by disorder and violence.
Wewe Tinga, well, let me tell you, don't talk about cousins. Keep off family matters. Hii ni mambo ya familia, si ndio? Mambo ya familia usiingilie.
However, this approach is risky. Kenyans are increasingly wary of heavy-handed tactics by the state, and any attempt to use force against Gachagua's supporters could easily backfire. It could play directly into the hands of the former deputy, cementing his image as a victim of political persecution while boosting his popularity even further. As things stand, the political atmosphere is charged with uncertainty. On one side is a determined president, desperate to stamp authority and crush any rising threat. On the other side is a defiant Gachagua, returning from abroad with newfound energy and a swelling crowd of supporters ready to stand up against what they see as a state oppression. The stage is set for fireworks at JKIA. Whether the government succeeds in derailing Gachagua's procession or not, one thing is clear: the battle lines have been drawn, and the fight between Ruto and his former deputy is no longer silent. It is now out in the open, and it threatens to reshape the country's political future.
We shall have a mother of all peaceful processions upon his arrival. The procession.
Gachagua's grand return is not just a homecoming. It is a test of strength, a battle of wills, and a contest between two men who once shared a ticket but are now bitter rivals. As the clock ticks towards his landing, all eyes are fixed on JKIA. What happens there could either cement Ruto's control or mark the beginning of his undoing.